Let the record show it is 7 p.m. on Tuesday, 6 August 2013. I'd like to call this regular Board of Trustees meeting to order. We'll start out with a little invocation. May our Lord, may our country and may I seek your wisdom in everything we do. And I would wish that please everyone to remember our soldiers and many of our service people that are far away from home over these days. And if we could have roll call.
Trustee Head.
Here.
Klein.
Here.
O'Brien Berglund.
Here.
Rhodey.
Here.
Standafer.
Here.
President Wekkin.
Here.
Trustee Zappa.
Here.
Okay. Item number 2, review and approve minutes from the regular board meeting of 2 July 2013. Are there any amendments or corrections to those regular board meeting minutes?
I'll move to approve the minutes from July 2nd, 2013.
Thank you, Colleen. And any second?
A second.
Thank you, Paul. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. The minutes from the 2 July meeting are approved. Comments from the floor. Opportunity for residents to make the board aware of topics, issues, opportunities not on today's agenda. And I do not see anyone here that isn't on the agenda. So we'll go on to item number 4. Amended Class B liquor license for extended premises, Seasons Tavern, August 17, 2013. Approval requested.
And I'll move that the Class B retail license for the sale of fermented malt beverages and intoxicating liquors for Seasons Tavern be temporarily amended for an event taking place Saturday, August 17, 2013, from 9 a.m. until midnight with the following conditions. 1, area outside of building to be completely enclosed with fence and the extended premises accessed only from the single access point. 2, use of alcohol shall remain within the building or fenced-in area per the establishment's liquor license. 3, use of outside area only with specific permission of village board for requested date and time. 4, owner to provide equal amount of adjacent substitute off-street parking while parking lot area is fenced during time of event. 5, owner to be responsible for DJ/music volume. 6, all outside music to end no later than 10 p.m.
Thank you, Marc. Is there a second? Thank you, Colleen. This has been recommended by the chief, Marc, and it is very similar to his the request from last year. Brad was going to try to be here, but apparently business is good, which we hope for all our businesses in North Hudson. And let's see, that's I think all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Same sign. No one. Motion carries.
Call for discussion, but I think people would have spoken up if they'd wanted to.
Okay, thank you. That discussion always gets to me. Okay, let's see. Do joint library board agreement. The first item, or item A, rescinding notice of intent to withdraw. If we could get a...
Well, we had a motion from the Finance Committee to move to rescind the Village of North Hudson's letter of intent to withdraw from the Hudson Joint Library and apply for an exemption from the county library tax for 2014. That is the motion I'm presenting.
Thank you, Marc. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, George. And is there discussion?
I have a couple comments I'd like to make, Mr. President.
George, would you so please do that?
First of all, I'd like to commend Randy for the article that he had on the history of the library situation as we now face it. So, Doug, if you'll extend my appreciation. As anybody who follows these meetings know, I do not respond to letters to the editor because I have a forum and a platform right here, and this is where I do mine. I've been a little bit upset, and I don't mind saying that. As a matter of fact, I think Doug, you used the word ire on a previous occasion, and so that comes to fore again. The Thursday, August 1st letters to the editor included some information which on the surface is correct, but it doesn't tell the whole story. There was a letter to the editor regarding the library indicating that if we were to spend $32, what we'd be able to get, if we were to spend $52, what we'd be able to get, and so on, all the way up to $72, I believe it was. I'd like to make the following statement regarding those numbers. First of all, if we were to increase our giving from 22 to 32, that's an increase of only $10 per capita. That would increase our budget by $37,680. If we were to increase it by $20, it would be $75,360 added to our budget, which is the cost of one of our officers. And you may recall that at the end of 2012, we had to let one of our officers go because we needed to meet our budget responsibilities. If we were to increase our giving to the library by $30, it would increase our budget by $113,160. $40 additional would be $150,720, and an additional $50, bringing us up to $72, would be $188,520. That having been said, must recognize that we are operating under some very tight budget restrictions. In this month's issue of the municipality put out by the Wisconsin League of Municipalities, the whole magazine is covering state budgets. And there are so many restrictions on all municipalities in the village that there is no way we would be able to increase our financing to the extent that was proposed in the letter to the editor. And there I stand. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, George, for a very enlightening response to some of the letters we have seen in the paper recently. Item B is amendment of the joint library.
Mr. President,
Yes? Oh, we got to
need a
vote.
vote.
We didn't vote. Dang.
And might I request...
Either I don't discuss or I don't have to vote. Any other discussion?
Rules get in the way, don't
I
they?
was so moved by your speech, George, that I'm completely discombobulated.
Starting to tear up.
Okay, we'll do a roll call vote on that. We'll start with Paul.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now I can go on to item B, which is amendment of the joint library agreement, removing reimbursements to other libraries for circulation.
I have that somewhere, we find that. Remember that one was buried somewhere?
Okay, it's
Yeah,
I saw it.
I know, it was stuck in somewhere.
this one here.
Oh, as far as the motion?
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
believe
yeah,
that Daryl
Colleen
made the
had it.
motion,
Here.
and if you want Melissa to
It
repeat
follows
it.
it follows that packet, it's just before the Plan Commission.
Melissa, do you have the
Maybe you
motion?
could explain
It's,
that.
yeah, it's right here.
It doesn't,
Okay, yeah,
And
it doesn't have a recommended
removal of
motion.
we have, well, we had one in finance, but the issue,
Where's the one, what was the one in finance?
Melissa's
read it
working
back?
it up.
I believe this is what it's saying, a motion to amend the joint library agreement to remove the provision which reimburses the River Falls, Roberts, and Somerset libraries, which would increase the funds available for the operation of the Hudson Area Joint Library.
That's, sounds correct. Okay, and the issue is the joint library agreement has a provision that provides for the Hudson Area Joint Library to reimburse other libraries in St. Croix County for any shortfall between what they receive for the library service from St. Croix County and the rural circulation funding that would have received if no towns participated in the Hudson Area Joint Library. Consequently, the Hudson Area Joint Library has been making payments to River Falls, Roberts, and Somerset for circulation to residents of the towns of Hudson and St. Joseph. Below is a summary of these payments and made over the past 3 years. And just as, for part of the background, in 2011, we paid $35,570. In 2012, we paid $52,121. And in 2013, we paid $34,488 to libraries of River Falls, Somerset, and Roberts. With this recommendation in motion, what we're trying to do is change the agreement so that those funds will stay with the Hudson Joint Library Coalition.
Do we have a motion, or we need to state one?
We've,
Stan, I'll move to amend the joint library agreement, removing the reimbursement to other libraries provision, which, do we need to, is it item 7 under heading C
Yep.
in our
in the original
original agreement,
agreement, yeah,
titled the reimbursement to other libraries?
correct.
I'll second your motion, Mark.
Thank you, George. Further discussion?
Hopefully the audience, the board knows that this is not just, when you say "we are," it is not just the Village of North Hudson, but rather all 4 of the municipalities jointly together. And that's accumulated amount from those, from all 4 of us. Is that
That is-
correct?
That is correct. That's money that couldn't have stayed here, and because of the original agreement, went to other libraries, and we would like to keep it home with our library.
And let it be noted then that for 2013, for example, there's $34,488 that's increase in what they're going to have to use. So while we can't raise any more money from the taxpayer, we get that $35,000 here.
Yeah, and I know Hudson has already passed this at their meeting, and I believe the town and St. Joe both did in the last, did their meetings at the end of July. So this is just to go along with our partners in the.
Can I ask a hypothetical? What group is removing funds from our joint library? If we were contributing to other libraries, is anybody coming around the backside on our joint library that was providing funds that shouldn't have been, or were, but doesn't seem appropriate?
I am not aware of anybody.
Okay.
I think I can address that. What will happen, if that were to happen, we're still ahead because the Hudson
Well, I'm not
Library.
contesting it, I'm just
No,
saying,
the
if-
Hudson
was this a
Libra-
big circular thing at
The
one time?
Hudson
to some
Library
degree
pays
it
out
is.
more than it gets back.
Right.
Okay.
So we do get some, we meaning the library, does get some funds from these other libraries when our population goes to their libraries.
Okay.
But I think George is saying that.
Yeah, no, I'm
all
not,
in
I'm not
all-
questioning the motion.
We
at all.
send
I'm
out,
just-
we give away
we
more
didn't
money
bring-
than we
the
get
fact
back.
that-
Yep.
Yeah, but there is it doesn't matter.
We have a motion, and I think we have.
So we have a motion, we had a second by George. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Roll call, George?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
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 Unanimous, thank you. Okay, item number 6, new business from the board or staff, and,
Excuse me a second.
Jeez, you gotta get a hand.
Pull yourself together.
I got it all over my sleeve.
and Terry doesn't really have to be here for the president's comments, and, the
Oh,
only
I
thing
don't know about that.
at this time.
Just coughing for some reason.
I'm gonna be short and easy this month, and as everyone is aware, we are in the countdown as we can see activities starting out front. That the month of August and the third weekend is Pepper Festival in North Hudson, and it is our community celebration of part of the heritage and the history of North Hudson. And I got my button today, and we have a list of activities starting next Friday. Of course, the board or the Pepper Festival staff will be working diligently starting Sunday. And I'd just like to remind everybody that Pepper Festival is a fun event, and if you can come around, support your local village, and it's a good fundraiser for our schools and other nonprofits. And if you stop by some of our local businesses, I know they will appreciate it. And I hope everyone has a safe and wonderful time and doesn't tax our chief and his staff to excess. So have a great Pepper Festival. Next is administrators' comments. Gloria.
Well, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the board for allowing me to attend the Clerk and Treasurer's Institute in Green Bay. We brought back a lot of really good information As you know, I had completed the 3-year treasurer's completion, and with this fourth year, I would complete the clerk's completion. So now I'm eligible for the designation if I choose to apply. I think that it was rejuvenating. The information was really good. Again, it wasn't a conference, it was education. And it was, pardon? Pardon, Mark?
Let it go.
That's it.
And I'd just like to mention, I know I talked to Gloria and Melissa when they came back from this event, and this is, it is not like some people go to conferences or whatever. This is a training event put on by the university system, I believe, and if you don't attend, you do not get credit. So you're not down to Green Bay going to the Hall of Fame and doing different things during class. You have to actually sit there, and they had some very long days, but they said it was a good educational experience, and I'm glad that they were able to take that educational opportunity. Next item, village clerk. Melissa, anything?
I also attended the UW Green Bay Clerks Institute in July and found it to be very educational and rewarding, and I would also like to thank you for the opportunity to attend. Also, although there's not yet another election until 2014, I would like to remind residents who may be new to North Hudson or even have moved within the village of North Hudson that you will need to complete a new voter registration form, and you can contact me to request the form and register prior to an election.
Thank you, Melissa. Okay, item number 7, Plan Commission. I don't believe Plan Commission met since Mr. Meiser is not here. So on to number 8, Personnel Finance Committee recommendations, claims and approvals requested. If I could get a motion
I'll move to approve the July 2013 non-recurring claims totaling $149,283.19.
Thank you, Mark. Is there a second?
Second.
Colleen, thank you. Discussion. Okay, if those that follow along at home, if you say, wow, that's a lot of money we spent this month, but twice a year, we have to pay for our police, or not our police, but we contract with the city of Hudson for fire, we contract for the city of Hudson for EMS, and we have to make our library board payment, which is what, increases
Didn't we buy a lot
that.
of Pepperfest buttons too?
The buttons? No, we didn't have to. I'll buy those for you if you need them. But that's the reason that we have such a big number this month, and since it is a budget item, and if there is any other discussion? Hearing none. Paul?
Yes.
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 Okay, thank you very much. And that, Public Works Committee recommendations. I believe, Daryl, you had quite a meeting this month.
We have a number of items, Mr. President. The first item to bring to the attention of the board and request approval relate to storm damage. We did have substantial storm damage. Mr. President, you did sign an emergency declaration. Under the auspices of that storm damage, we have 2 items. First of all, we had curb and gutter and street repair damage on 6th Street North and on Michelson Street North. Mr. President, I move to approve payment for the storm-related costs for those 2 areas in the amount of $10,198.
Second.
Thank you, Daryl and George. Further discussion? Hearing none, that's a spending item. George?
Yes.
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 Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay,
Mr. President, the second area of storm damage involved a number of the catch basins that were overloaded with storm water and eroded and blew out a number of catch basins. There actually are a total of 7 catch basins that need to be repaired. Mr. President, I move to have Zappa Brothers, Inc. repair the 7 storm sewer catch basins, and they are listed. I will not read them. in an amount not to exceed $24,500.
Daryl, thank you, Paul. Any further discussion? Okay, I'd just like to say, I know that we have met, Mark and, the chief have met with Public Works and the chief have met with the FEMA representatives, and we have duly noted our expenses, which are quite extensive. Mark, you got a number?
Currently, we're right around 62,000.
Okay, the damage, I mean, a lot of the folks don't realize, but I mean, the storm, or the water damage and the catch basins and stuff like that, the tree removals, we had, a lot of activity there, so we're in that 62,000 range. I know Governor Walker, the county and Governor Walker has applied for, funds to reimburse the individual municipalities for storm damage, and we hope we get a favorable outcome from the government. So that is another spending issue. Paul?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
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 Okay. Item C is Lakeview Drive street patching approval requested.
There's considerable deterioration on this street. We are not prepared at the present time to do a whole replacement project. That will come at some future date. But right now, because of the deterioration of the road, it is necessary to consider, and we are recommending a patch project. Our snow plows are in fact digging into the road in place on that road. So, Mr. President, I move to accept a bid from Monarch Paving to provide the necessary patches to Lakeview Drive in an amount not to exceed $3,712.
Thank you, Daryl. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, George. Any further discussion? Hearing none. George?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, and item D, the new truck.
One of the things we had budgeted as far as capital expense, Mr. President, this year was a new, a large truck. This would be a Ford F-350. As I indicated, this is a budgeted a replacement of a current asset. This is not a trade-in. This would be an outright purchase. The current asset, existing truck, will be sold. We do have a guaranteed sale price of that of $8,500. We're attempting to sell it for more than that, but that will be offset against the amounts that will be articulated in these two items. So, Mr. President, I recommend and do, in fact, move to purchase a Ford F-350 Super Cab 4x4 from Hudson Ford at a cost not to exceed $24,100.
Thank you, Daryl. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Paul. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Let's see, I think it's Paul's turn.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And, Mr. President, the second piece that goes with that is the snow plow that goes on that vehicle. And so, as a separate item, Mr. President, I move to purchase a Boss XTV plow with a snow deflector and wiring kit from Dave's Service Center at a cost not to exceed $6,800.
I'll second.
Thank you, Daryl. George? Thank you, George. Further discussion? I would just like to say, I hope these things are not too far out, because the way our weather is this year, we had the shortest summer on record, and we may need that unit before too long. So if there is no further discussion, George?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And
Mr. President, the final item under the Public Works area is our continuing discussion on the Shopyards project. There is no item on which we need to make a decision tonight, but I think it is appropriate to have an update for the full village board so that there is an awareness of where we're at in the project. Kevin, our village engineer, is here, and I'll have him make some comments in just a few moments with respect to the project. At the present time, we have taken the project out for bids consistent with the track that we've been on all along. Those bids will be returned prior to our next board meeting, and at our next board meeting, we will need to make some decisions with respect to either proceeding or terminating that project based on two factors. One is the quality of the bids that come in, consistent with the budgeted anticipation of the project. But the second item is the ability to have the exchange of easements from the property owners in the Shopyards project. I think it would be a fair statement to say, and the board should be aware, that we have not successfully been able to receive the exchange of easements and get agreement from the affected property owners. I think the current count is that we still have 3 of the property owners that have either not signed an exchange agreement or have not given approval that they will sign an agreement. So between now and September, we have the time to get those, but in the event that we do not, I do not see how we can proceed with this project in 2013. It will mean that the project will need to be postponed and rebid, because we would not have sufficient legal authority to proceed without the proper easements in place. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Kevin for anything that you want to add. As I indicated, we don't need to make any decisions tonight, but we're up to crunch time, and I'm just alerting the board that we have had, unfortunately, a lack of cooperation from some of the property owners in that area in order to complete our public works project.
Kevin?
So I'll just step up. I don't want to rehash too much of this information because a lot of this actually has been brought forth before. But there is some new findings down in that area. Just wanted to make the board aware of. Again, these have been shown before. But, and I think some of this information was given to the village board, I believe it was yesterday, from the village administrator. But, and again, we were looking at 2 different options, option 1, option 2. Option 2 is ultimately what the board decided to proceed with. What I tried to do is transpose as an existing access easement down in that area. It's 30 feet wide, and it comes from 4th and Monroe, terminates just on the north side of 220 Monroe Street, which is Nick's parcel, and that's shown in a cyan color. What we did find out is back in 1997, there were some easements that were generated, and it actually basically takes it from just being an access easement to allowing the village to actually put utilities, sewer and water, public utilities underneath where that's located. Again, you know, we have some existing easements out there, and I tried illustrating this on option 1. And green is the sanitary sewer that's out there, and then the water main is in the blue color. Again, you can see that they're not real parallel to each other. They're quite a distance away in some areas. And what we're looking at doing as part of these proposed improvements, we'd be looking at being about 10 feet apart, parallel, a little less destructive for doing the construction, a little bit easier for Marc to go out and locate those utilities. And along with that, we're looking at doing the water main moving. So we are going to need new easements up along in the north side, which would be from St. Croix Ventures and the individual off of Cherry Circle, Thomas Wolf. In addition, there's this connection pipe. We have a 10-inch main that was actually installed as part of the Monroe Street project in anticipation of this project for looping purposes, better water quality, better fire flows. So there is some additional new easements in that area that we're going to be required. With finding out just this week that we have the chance to put utilities under this access easement, we actually moved what's shown on here, this water main, to be within that easement area. So theory, we would need access from that parcel. We still will need something to get from this corner to where the new main will be, and that's from St. Clair Ventures. So, again, like Daryl was saying, kind of working on this process here for the last 2 months, and 3 out of the 8 is, there's 3 outstanding ones out there that I guess we haven't gotten an official verbal or agreement from them. So that's what we need to work on in the next 3 weeks, so that when we bring bid results to the village board, which will be in September, that we basically have to go and actually start doing the construction here this fall. So, just kind of an update for you folks, tell you where we're at.
So
And
when
what's
is
the impact financially on these changes, these differences? In other words, when we send this out for bid, do you have to say to them, bid on option 1 and option 2?
We would have to basically go back and regenerate the construction plans and rebid the project out. Because it's,
You're talking about for this year?
Yeah.
It's already done. I mean, the decision was made to go with option 2.
We're out for bids
And
on
that's what's
Yeah.
option 2.
yeah. And those results will be next Thursday is when the opening is. And there's been quite a bit of interest on this project. There's a number of contractors that have pulled plans and specs already, so.
So worst case scenario, is there anything that's gonna be a hiccup to delay this till next year?
Yes, the easements.
Yeah. All the regulations. Yep, yep.
Well, that is what I was referring to, because if they don't sign the easement exchange, does that or does that not impact the cost of the project?
We can't proceed with the
Yeah,
project.
you
We
would.
can't do it.
So how do we get them together?
Basically, I
Put a sign out that says free pizza? What do you do? How do you get them here?
it's,
Or is that your job?
I've been kind of, running with it, making contact with all these individuals. With this new information, that's definitely gonna change the scenario.
So are you talking to these people, or are you just leaving voicemails?
I've been talking with the individuals, I've been sending emails, I've been, leaving voice messages with.
So is it positive? What's going on?
Bless you.
There's one individual that started out real positive.
Yeah?
I haven't heard anything back from him, probably for about 2 weeks.
Which 3 is it, Kevin? What's
Yeah,
that beat around?
is there a reason why we can't know?
No.
No, we
Okay.
may as well be factual.
Yeah,
Vengeance Properties is one of those individuals.
yeah.
Started out real strong, good communication between him and I. He wanted us to do a couple changes. We did do those accommodations. I sent back, some exhibits to show him what's been changed. And I haven't heard anything back. Again, it's been about 2 weeks.
Fantastic.
So we try to make contact with him again. And again, the other parcel, since we have this new information that's available to us, not sure how he's gonna react, but
He is,
that would be SeaWorld Properties.
okay.
So, and then the other one, Nick, it's only gonna be to his benefit. He actually signed the new agreement, so you can see how the current water main approaches into his parcel than what we have proposed. So it's actually gonna be a benefit to him.
Definitely a win-win for him.
Yep, so.
Is it the money that they're still upset about?
Some of it is kind of how the special assessments all weighed out.
But the ironic thing is, we need the easements to do the water and sewer project, and their cost for the water and sewer project is 0.
Right.
That's a village infrastructure project.
There seems to be some apparent perception that if they are holding off on signing the easements, that somehow it gives them leverage over the cost of the replacement of the road in the project.
Daryl, is this a contract they have to sign or what?
No, they wouldn't sign any contract, it's just.
Yeah.
It would just be a special assessment to pay for the cost of the of the road
But
under
they
which
have to
the
sign-
utilities are going.
They have to sign
They have to
over
sign an
easements.
They have to sign an easement giving us the right to do that.
They own that land.
Right, but we can't take the papers to them, we have to wait for them to come here.
No, we could take the papers to them and say, would you sign this, please? Absolutely, we can do that. In
Yeah,
fact, that's
they
been
have
done.
That's what we're trying to do.
They all have copies of what we'd like them to sign now, it's just a matter of somebody
Yep.
talking to
They're shooting
them
over.
and maybe getting them to sign them.
Yeah.
With, like you said, with Nick, it's all to his benefit, there's no negative to him at all. It helps him, it makes his lot more valuable.
Yep.
So why, why he hasn't gotten back to us is unknown, because he should.
Yep.
The other two guys, I think, are being uncooperative somewhat on purpose, at least that's my take on it. I haven't talked to either of them, but that's my take on
And
it.
that's the SeaWorld guy?
SeaWorld Adventures.
Colin.
Vintage properties.
Because, well, for SeaWorld, down here on the bottom, we are moving into some of his property, but we already have most of the necessary easement there anyway, so he doesn't have a lot of leverage, because we've already got that easement.
Yeah, that was the big, this was the top one right here, is getting for the new water main.
But we still need him to agree to a small piece of it, and I think that's just a matter of you talking to him, right?
Yeah, I did talk to him, would have been last week, and he's in agreement to what we're proposing on the west side of the building, because you can see how wide that is, broader,
Right.
compared to what
It
we're
helps
proposing.
him on that side.
So again, it's a benefit to him, more usable area, so.
I think Daryl nailed it. It boils down to, they think if they hold out somehow, this is going to alleviate the cost for the road
Yeah.
replacement. That's all, from what I've seen,
Yeah.
it's all it boils down to.
So do we have a go, no-go date? If we don't get this, when do we say, all right, it's done for this year, going in next
It's
year?
really the September board meeting.
Okay,
There you have it.
there you go.
Again. 4 weeks, 3 weeks.
Okay.
Are any of the board members on good terms with any of these holdouts?
I was gonna ask, can we legally, can I just go over there and say, come on, just sign this, let's get going?
Yeah.
I'm sick of looking at this picture. I've never even heard of the color he made up.
It's not a made-up color, it's on your palette on your computer.
Yeah, you can talk to
I
them
just-
all.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you get me a copy of them? The contracts? Deal.
Call it an easement, don't call it a contract.
Easement.
Easement.
I'll go over on my moped.
It's actually an easement exchange, isn't it?
That's exactly right. We have easements,
So the
but
easements
we
are
need a
already there.
different easement.
It's simply, Paul, it's simply
Not that one.
not that one.
One.
What we're hoping they'll do is give us an easement in a place we don't have it. And if they do that, we're gonna give up the easement in the place we do have it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why it's an easement exchange.
Yep.
Okay, any,
This is just an update, just letting
this
you
is
know where
update,
we're at.
Yep, exactly, and good discussion, and thank you very much, Kevin. Is there any other questions for Kevin or comments? Okay, thank you very much, and thank you for putting that on the agenda, Daryl. It was very important to, I think for the public and everyone to see what we have going on there.
So,
Is that? Okay. Item number 10, Public Safety Committee.
We did not meet, Stan.
Did not meet. Thank you. Public Welfare, Ted?
Public welfare did not meet.
Okay, it's clicking them off. Number 12, Park Board Committee. Colleen, I believe you have some updates for
we
us.
did meet, and what we would like to do is put a shelter, picnic shelter similar to the one in Ferry Landing Park, in Summers Landing Park. As you recall, we put in some new playground equipment there a year or so ago, and it does get used. And when we had wanted to put in the skate park there, people were saying, why don't you put in a picnic shelter? Since there's no shade there. So that is what we would like to do. We've gotten, Daryl and a group from Faith Community said that they would like to help us build it. And the park board and other volunteers will help stain it. And Public Works will help also construct it. So actually what we're proposing is actually coming in quite a bit less than our $15,000 budgeted. So I move to accept the bid from Harwell Masonry, Inc. to install an 18 foot by 28-foot concrete slab at Summers Landing Park for the sum of $2,859. And move to have the Public Works Supervisor purchase the materials for construction of a picnic shelter at Summers Landing Park at a cost not to exceed $4,000.
Thank you, Colleen. Is there a
Second.
Mark? Thank you. Discussion?
So, Mr. President, just to note that this is coming out of park funds.
Yes, this is designated funds from the park. It is not budgeted through the village, but is set up that way. So, any other discussion? Thanks, Ted, for bringing that up. Hearing none, spend, kind of a spending item. Paul?
Yes.
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 Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, that is passed.
Hang on, are you?
Item 13,
Nope, hang on just a second.
okay?
Hang on just a second. Next page. Wait a minute. On your minutes, you had something here on welcome to the North Hudson sign installation.
Ooh,
Oh, we're still working on getting those installed.
Okay,
Yeah.
just a suggestion on this. When you get to the point where it's ready and you're gonna have a little ceremony, I'm sure.
Probably.
Okay. Might I request that you invite the Centennial Committee? Thank you.
Put it on Facebook.
It might have to be the bicentennial committee by then, do you think?
Do we have the sign? They're just not up?
Yes, we have the
yeah,
sign.
we're still,
How long
well,
have we had them?
Waiting
we're
for
dealing with
approval.
the state.
How long have we had the signs?
They move slowly, sometimes.
The state moves slow? Huh.
Well,
Yeah.
Depends.
They guarantee it'll be up by
Yeah.
the bicentennial.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We've had signs roughly for a little bit. They're in storage at the moment.
Yeah. Look nice?
Oh, beautiful.
Why aren't they up?
Basically, what
Easement.
we're doing is trying to stay out of the state right away. What we're doing is we're, right now, with Colleen and I and Park have discussed that members of our park board are going to hold off for some individuals, see if they will allow us to set up on their property just off the right of way.
So-
That way we don't get a letter from the state later saying you have to move your signs.
So we're waiting for permission from the state instead of asking for forgiveness?
No.
No.
We're waiting for
We're
permission.
waiting to we're trying to deal with one of my public
Private property owner.
that-
Oh, I got you, private property, I got
So
you.
just for the record, my contention is they can go in the state right of way. I've researched it.
According to, yeah, well, and I also looked into it, and everything I sent the state, and everything I got back from the state says, no, if they put them in the state right away, we will make you remove them.
Just do it on Friday at Pepperfest, take it on Sunday. That's what I would do. Mark
Okay,
Zappa taught me that one.
yeah, no,
Remember the Zonkies? You got me in trouble a couple times.
okay, the last item is number 13 will be adjournment, and Mr.
I
Zappa?
move to adjourn, Stan.
Thank you, sir, and this meeting is adjourned at, looks like 7:43.